There is a new publication of again, this is called The Economist. Now, I'm going to pull this up here so we can look at this together. You're going to see this on your screen, and I want you to see the visual of this. Now, keep in mind, this is like the crystal ball, if you would, of the elites. This is what they perceive and what they see coming in the year ahead. And they do this every single year. Take a really close look at what you're looking at here. Notice here all of these symbols of war. You've got tanks, you've got rockets, you've got missiles. You can see the AI robots involved. If you look carefully, you'll even see syringes. What is that? Is that pertaining to vaccines? Is there a pandemic coming? You see, all through this, you see these indications of, and look at the fist up here at the top with the handcuffs on it. You see all these indicators of civil unrest, distress of nations, wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, plagues, wars, kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. Look, and if you look at the very center of this, you got the two swords crossing each other. So there's a lot of stuff here that these, again, as we said, these economists and these elites, they all know. They all perceive and they know what is coming ahead, because a lot of this is manipulated in order to bring about a collaborated effort to further their agenda. The Economist has been around since 1843, but it has never had a very large readership among the general population. Ultimately, it is a publication by the elite and for the elite. Let me say that again. This publication is typically by the elite and for the elite. According to Wikipedia, it has editorial offices across the planet, but is primarily based in the city of London. Many of the wealthiest families in Europe are among the shareholders of the company. Among them is Sir Evelyn Robert D. Rothschild. You ever heard of the Rothschilds? Was actually the chairman from the early 1970s to the late 1980s. Again, I'll pull this back up here. When you look at this, when you look at the cover of this, there's things that stand out. For example, you see Zelensky is clearly visible in the upper right-hand portion of the cover. You can also see President Xi, you see Vladimir Putin, and you see Benjamin Netanyahu, who appear to be depicted on the left-hand portion of the cover. And just like last year, Donald Trump is right in the center. All this consequently, as this past Monday, Trump refused to rule out any possibility of sending U.S. ground troops into Venezuela. Quote, asked if he would rule out U.S. troops on the ground in Venezuela, Trump replied, no, I don't rule out that. I don't rule out anything. We just have to take care of Venezuela, he added. They dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country from prisons. According to Michael Snyder, he did a little commentary on this, and he said, if we go to war with Venezuela, a large portion of our military forces will be tied up, and our relations with the rest of the world will greatly suffer. In other words, this could turn into another Vietnam. And Trump is also suggesting that military strikes in Mexico and Colombia could be coming. Also, don't forget, he also hinted at sending military force into Nigeria. President Trump hinted at being open to sending military troops to Mexico and Colombia in order to stop drugs, sending chills across the region. The president made the comments during a recent press conference on Monday as he hosted a meeting with FIFA president and the White House task force on the 2026 World Cup at the Oval Office. Quote, would I launch strikes on Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Whatever we have to do to stop drugs. Mexico is, look, I looked at Mexico City over the weekend. There's some big problems over there. Let me back up here. If we had to, would we do there what we've done to the waterways? You know, there is almost no drugs coming through our waterways anymore. Isn't it down like 85%? This is all a direct quote from the President of the United States. However, on the other side of the globe, meanwhile, conflicts between Israel and Iran are set to erupt again. It looks like Ukraine is just going to continue to escalate, and China, no doubt, will be right dab in the middle of this as well. Now, when we go back to the cover of the magazine, it appears that there's a chart that seems to depict some set or sort of financial crash right under the crossed swords. Look at the crossed swords on your screen. Right under it, it looks as if there's a chart that is indicating some type of financial crash. Now, here's what's interesting about this, guys, is I don't know if you've been keeping up with what's going on, and if you haven't, this is why we do these programs, to get you informed of the times and seasons which we're in. There's a lot of red flags and indicators that are going off right now that are not good. For example, let me pull this article up. This is from the Daily Mail. A recession is already here for 23 states in the United States. Nearly half of all U.S. states are sliding into recession as the national economy tries desperately to stay afloat. That's the stark warning from Mark Zandi, who is a chief economist at Moody's Analytics, one of the world's most watched independent economic firms. His grim assessment comes after major corporations slashed more than 150,000 jobs last month. This is the biggest October total in more than 2 decades. Now, that's in light of, again, the 3 giants, Walmart, UPS, and Amazon, all slashed thousands of jobs during the Christmas season, which is unheard of. A sticky inflation, dwindling home construction, layoffs at factories, and flatlining wages also contributed to the bleak picture. This state-level picture mirrors the national trend. The U.S. economy is not in recession, but is struggling, quote, to avoid one. Zandi's team analyzed a raft of data, including household employment, industrial production, retail sales, and building permits, to sort all 50 states into 3 groups: recession or at risk, treading water, and expanding. The results were bleak. 23 states. Let's look at this chart here. Okay. So all of the red, everything that you see on this chart, and again, I apologize for this, guys, on Apple and Spotify. This is one of them occasions where it'd probably be good to come over here and watch the visual of this. But there's a map of the United States, and in the red, you can see that these are already in recession. And of course, my state is in there. The state of Georgia, you got Washington, you got Oregon, you got Montana, you got Wyoming, you got South Dakota, you got Minnesota, you got Iowa, you got Kansas, you got Illinois, you got Michigan, you got Maine, Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia, Georgia, and Mississippi, all in the red. Those treading water are Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico, California. I think I said that already. California, Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico, Alaska, Montana. Those they're treading water: California, Nevada, Alaska, New Mexico, Colorado, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Ohio, New York, and Vermont. Those are all treading water.
Shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone of whom I learn from each and every day. All right, healthy shalom to the 144,000 mighty men out there that would be judges upon this earth. All right, hey, things are going down real quickly. And that video you just watched, it's from the brother Arrows of Indignation. And there's a whole lot going on in that little, it's like a little child drawing or whatever. But see, here's the thing: is these elites, they know what's going on. Okay, they are fulfilling prophecy that has been handed down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, something that cannot be stopped. All right, and they show you day by day by day who they are. Now, things to come in 2026. Oh boy, I believe this one's going to be a doozy. But let's go ahead and get to one of the most important prophecies and, things that have happened, things that have came to pass, and things that are going to come to pass. Because you got to remember, let's go here right quick. You got to remember, they got this thing called technocracy, all right, with your AI, all right? Your AI is exploding, like massively exploding, all right? You have new technologies such as solid-state batteries, which solid-state batteries is sort of like a lithium battery, but lithium batteries can degrade. All right, can and will, they will degrade, over charge cycles, if you will. Solid state batteries are basically bulletproof. And that could be something used to, to bring about the charagma, the thing inserted. You already know what it is, the MOTB. All right, so technocracy, let's read this. Technocracy, the government, what? The government or control of society or industry by an elite technical experts, right? And that's what you have right there in that picture. Let's see if we can pull that up. 2026. You see 2026, 2026 picture. Slovakia picture. No. I'm not sure if it's going to let me pull it up or not. I may want to stop this and see if I can find that, or just go. We'll do it like this. Yeah, here we go. We'll do it just like this. Here's the picture. Okay. Pause that. Pull it up. All right, here it is. The world ahead. It says the world ahead. And you saw all those things. You got your fist there. You got certain world leaders. You've got certain things that are to come about. A war, pestilence, rumors of war. All these different things right here on this photo. And you can't tell me they don't know exactly what's going on. So let's go here. And we're going to read Revelation 13th chapter, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. What is that? All right. That's that NATO and the EU, 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his head 10 crowns, and upon his head, Slakia, the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I was, Slakia, and the beast which I was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. All right, that's that Russian bear. It's all in that photo right there. All right, his mouth is as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, and his seat and great authority. See, that's right. Esau Edom is the so-called white man. He has great authority upon this earth because the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. See, this is all prophecy. You must remember that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua put the basis of man up over his children. All right, which in fact you so-called blacks, Latinos. I said so-called. Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds go come looking like every other nation. All right, this is prophecy right here. Verse 3 reads, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. That is what? That's the one of the heads that was wounded to death was Rome. Okay, you got to remember this is Rome 2.0. It's all the same thing, all the same monetary system, all the same rulers. All right, being regenerated or reincarnated if you can receive it. All right, all the same things that are happening, except for this time when this place gets destroyed, it's destroyed for good. I'm talking about Babylon. All right, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. See that? The great whore that sitteth upon many waters, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months, right? Power was given unto him. You met, verse 4, Salakia, verse 14, when it talks about the great miracles and all that. All right, verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High Yahweh, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. You see that right there? Given unto him to make war with the saints. It's an ancient battle, and it's always been that way. And we can go back and look at that photo again, because it's very powerful and very, very telling of Esau Edom. Remember, the scripture very plainly told us that his own tongue shall fall upon himself. He was made to do that. He's always told on himself. All right, especially to the ones who have the eye salve, the understanding of the scriptures, because they know what to look for. They know what to listen for. They can see. The scriptures calls us seers. Okay, and to overcome them, and power was given to him of all kindreds all kindreds and tongues and nation, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. Don't you see that? That's why in Jeremiah it tells you very plainly that these nations are going to be mad. They're going to all shoot their arrows perfectly against this whore. See? And to overcome them with power given to all kindred, Salakia, verse 8. And then, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names were not written in the book of life. See? Of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the faith and the patience of the saints. Salakia, my words all over the damn place today. Okay? All right, let's get to the point here, because it's getting close to it. This reads, verse 11, and I behold another beast coming up out of the earth, and had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And he exercised. Who is that? That's Babylon. That's aka America. You see? The revised Roman Empire. It's back already. And it's already showing the same stress signs. Matter of fact, if you want to, we don't really go into numbers like that, but if you want to do numbers, 2026 is that's 250 years, isn't it? Just saying. Okay? Which is the average time of any empire. That's why they don't call this place an empire, man. And it is. It's exactly what it is. It's an empire. All right, ruled over by the Caesars yet again. All these people are back, man. Anyhow, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, Rome, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, Rome. See, verse 13, and he causes, and he Salakia, and he does great wonders. What? Great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That was done with Nagasaki. That was done with Hiroshima. With Moab, which is they call the mother of all bombs. His technology, the power he's been given, being able to split atoms, all that. All right, this is the devil we speaking of right here. He knows he had but a short time. That's why, hey, you saw that photo. You saw that. All right. And the guy speaking, he really don't know what's going on. He don't know. Anyway, verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles in which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying, this is the whole system, right? Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had wound by a sword and did live. See? And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, man. And that's going into, the people that's not going to bow the knee to Baal, all right, which is going to be not many people. Really, it's just these videos are for the elect anyway, okay? But this is what's getting ready to happen here. Let's read it. Verse 16, and he causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a MARK in their right hand and their foreheads. Again, that may be where that solid state battery technology is going to and why they're pushing it so hard. Let's go here. Scientists create what? And they're scientists. They're nothing more than necromancers. They are prognosticators, monthly prognosticators. Witches, warlocks. That's what they are. That's what their science is. They worship that and Mammon, right? Science create new solid state sodium ion batteries. Sodium ion. Sodium is a salt. All right, and that's a part of human anatomy anyway. It's salt, water. Several different things. All right, they say it'll make EVs. See, and it's all this big push for EVs and saying we need to do this because the planet's heating up, and and in reality, really, these EVs are it takes more more pollution, if you will, to create an EV than it does a regular internal combustion engine. I'm just saying, all right, that they say it'll make EVs cheaper and safer, so that you won't have all these explosions and all that blah, blah, blah. But this solid state technology is heavily based upon what? Silver. Okay? Which is another, and that's why silver's going up so much. Okay? Silver is considered, one to be one or two or the third highest precious, elements, precious metals. And they've been downplaying silver for the longest time. Now it's going through the roof. You got to pay attention to this, Jake. All right, a new sodium ion and a salt ion battery offers a cheaper and safer, and a lot of that has to do with silver and silicone and certain quartz crystal, which they found, the world's highest concentration and abundance of it right up here near where I live at. All right, the whole town's they taking over, man. So this is going down, Jake. Anyway, systems scientists say paving the way for more suitable EVs. And all this is on the, they put it on the back of EVs and this and that. Like, no, this is prophecy. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell. Say if he had the MARK or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You see that right there? Or what? Or the number of his name. And all this is going to be ingrained. It's going to be mixed all up in one thing. The technocracy, there's been many movies made about it. Minority Report, what was that movie with the tax evasion dude in it? What's his name? Wesley Snipes, Demolition Man. There's so many movies, man. So many movies. All right, and they know exactly what they're planning on doing. The economy is crashing. You saw, the charts that dude had put up there, talking about the states that are treading water, the states that are underwater, and the states that are inevitably going to be treading water, then underwater, and then what? You see, cuts to the food stamps and all that. All these are trial runs. Matter of fact, that jibby, the thing people that juicy juice. That was a trial run just to see who would break so easily. And they know. Okay? Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That is 666. Easy to see it. Very plain to see it. The other aspects, let's go to Matthew, the 24th chapter first. Let's do that. Matthew 24. Matthew 24th chapter. Get in the KJV. All right. Because you got your pestilence, your wars, rumors of wars. You remember Bill Gates of hell. What did he say? Oh, this next one they're going to pay attention to. We promise you, with that creepy ass smile. See? All right. Verse 5. For many shall come in my name. This is red letters. Yahweh Shai speaking. All right. Saying, I am Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and they shall what? Unalive you, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. And who is that? Who is that? That's the Israelites. Let's go back. Okay. 2nd Ezra 15, because this is happening too. It's all these prophecies are happening, popping off the pages right in front of you. All right. Let's jump in at verse 3. Fear none of the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them that trouble thee speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, and death, and destruction. Then we just read that. See, for wickedness, Esau, Edom, and the rest of these nations, they were all confederate against us. All of them. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, as in touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those days in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth out unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And that's exactly what's going on day by day, is the souls of the just are complaining continually. Okay? Let's see what else we want to hear. Let's try Revelation 12th chapter. Okay? Revelation the 12th chapter. All right, jump on down. Let's jump on down to verse. Yes, sir. Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach anointed. For the accuser of the brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And that's what Esau Edom is doing. You know, under the banner of what? Christianity and make America great again and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Whenever there's a problem, what does he always do? He accuses you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. As a matter of fact, I did a video about, I guess, 3 or 4 days ago, and it was going to this movie and this statement that this Edomite devil made, which was totally out of place. He said so-called Native Americans, blacks, and Latinos are of a mediocre stock. And it was just totally out of place. You know, a lot of people wouldn't catch that shit. I'm just saying, they wouldn't catch it. Verse 11, and they overcome him by the blood of the Lamb, the word. See, in the John 1 verse 1, right? And by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto death. Yeah, we're not in the spirit of wanting to stick around, stay around, and build. There ain't shit to build around here. There's nothing to build around here. You see? You prophesy against war and pestilence, all that, man. Verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe means destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. And this is that dragon. You know, he spake as a dragon. There's something else I want to get here. What was it? Was it verse 9? Let's jump down to verse 10 here in Matthew 24th chapter. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And we starting to see that. Look, we're starting to see that with these camps out here. These other camps out here talking about these heathen and Edomites, whoever can be saved. And we know, I mean, look, man, we see what's going on. We know why, but it is prophecy. You know, under the banner, and they try to use all kinds of scriptures to say they can be saved. And the scriptures just very plainly don't say that. See? The end is near. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, whether Yahweh Hashem Yahushua scattered us, right? And then shall the end come. But I said the same thing almost. Was it Jeremiah? Jeremiah. Add a new tab, it don't matter. Jeremiah 28th chapter. King James Version. I think it's verse 9. I said the 28th, didn't I? Yeah, 28th, not 26. Salakia. Type that in wrong. 28th chapter. Yeah. Yep, Jeremiah 28 in verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms, see, of war and of evil and of pestilence. You see that? Of what? War, evil, and of pestilence. You see. Let's go back to it. You saw it. Right there. Same thing he was just talking about. Okay? It's going down. It's like that. All right? So hopefully this lesson was edifying. Look, stay occupied in prophecies as the scripture tell you in the book of Sirach 39 and verse 1. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Shalom. Hey, and every chance you get, chant this place down. Kwam Yasharala and Wa Abai Babal. Boom. Shalom.